What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And I was gonna hold off on this until later, but I gotta talk about this. I just saw for the first time the interview um, with O.J. Simpson. I think back in 2006, after he was going to write a book. Not so much confessing to the murder of his former wife Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, but the book was titled "If I Had Done It," right? Saying like a whole bunch of hypotheticals, like I didn't do it, but if I were going to do it, this is what I would have done. I guess he was trying to in a way explain that he couldn't have done it because if he did do it, it would have been like this instead of how it actually occurred from her death. And yo, this this interview has to be the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever heard in my life. I have never heard an interview slash conversation that was like so uneasy, uncomfortable, and just it was creepy. The interview was creepy. So for those who don't know, those who weren't around during this time, I believe I think it was 1992 or 91, in the early 90s. Um, O.J. Simpson, former NFL football player and movie star, um, Hall of Fame, the running back, all that stuff. He was accused and acquitted of the murder of his wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and I think it was her lover, Ron Goldman, something like that, right? And it was called the trial of the century. The trial of the century was, I think it was like the early mid 90s, something like that. The trial of the century, right? I was in junior high when this happened. I remember I was in junior high when this happened, so it had to be like maybe like mid 90s. I was in junior high when this happened, and it was a trial of the century. It was all over the news. It was on every channel. The trial was so big that when they announced his verdict of being not guilty, I remember being in junior high. They were watching it. They were watching it in my school, in my junior high school. We were watching it in school. All the TVs in the classroom were on just to see the verdict, just to see the trial go on. And when they said not guilty, you actually can hear the kids and the teachers cheering in the school that he was found not guilty, right? Excuse me. So let's get like a little bit, know how far back I go with this. I remember the trial. I remember the trial. I saw the trial on TV with the glove and all that stuff. I remember all that. So he was acquitted, and you know he even though he was acquitted, a lot of people didn't like that he got off. Many people hated the fact that he got off. When I tell you there was some tension back then that he got off, he is still paying for getting off today from those all those years ago. He's still paying. He is still paying for getting off all those years ago to this very day. He's still feeling it. That's how much he was hated for getting off, right? So fast forward, um, he gets in legal trouble for other things. He actually does go to jail, but not for the murder. He did go to jail, but not for the murder. But no matter what he got in trouble for, they always brought back the case of him getting off, right? So he decided, like in 2006, he decided he was going to write a book. He was going to write a book, and the name of the book was actually called "If I Had Done It," explaining how he would have done it hypothetically, had he actually did kill his wife. So even back then, 2006, well, yeah, was 23. 2006. I was 23 when that book was supposed to come out, and fortunately, smart people, smart people thinking, they did not publish the book. They did not put the book out. They did not do that. However, they did do an interview, sort of like a no holds bars interview back then, 2006, giving sort of like a verbal explanation of what would have been in the book had it been published. Like I said, the book was called "If I Had Done It," right? So the reporter is asking him, and things this year, this a couple of days ago, was the first time this interview had ever been aired. They did the interview, but they never aired it back then. They never aired it because it was just too crazy. It was too crazy, way too much. So they just decided to release the interview after all these years. There was 2006. They did the interview. It's 2018. I think they released it over the weekend. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, over the week, or either Friday or something like that. And at first, I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to look at it because, like, I didn't want to look at it. But some just told me to watch it. Some just told me take a peek at it. And when I looked at the interview, I'll play this. I'll give my personal opinion. My personal opinion, even when the trial first started, and even back then, I always said I believe that OJ didn't kill them personally, but he hired someone to kill them. My personal belief was OJ didn't stab and kill his wife with his own hands. I believe he paid someone to do it because he had the money to do it. He had the money and the lifestyle to hire someone to do that for him. So I'm under the impression that he hired someone to do it, not necessarily him, so he wouldn't get his hands dirty. Hence the whole glove thing and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, that's what I was thinking. After I saw that interview, OJ. What are you doing, OJ? What were you doing? Because that was 2006. What were you thinking, OJ? This was so uncomfortable. It was so creepy. And he was talking about the hypothetical. Then he started talking like he wasn't a hypothetical. He kept saying hypothetical. Then when he was getting into it, started talking. He started talking like he was actually like he. I was like, yo, wait a minute. This dude talking like he really did it. See, things the double jeopardy. Double jeopardy is a law, for those who don't know, is that you can't be convicted twice for the same crime. Once you are acquitted of a crime, you can't be convicted again of the same crime, called double jeopardy. Okay? So if you get acquitted for murder, you can't get acquitted for the same crime. You can't get convicted of the same crime because once the charges are done and everything, the case is done, it's dismissed, it's over, and you're acquitted, you can't be convicted of the same crime if you're acquitted. So when I watched the interview, I saw that interview, it was damn near confession. This man, he sounded like he basically just said, yeah, I did it. He didn't flat out say I did it, but the way he was talking, when he got real comfortable, the way he was talking to the reporter, you might as well just put a big old red target on your forehead with a bullseye, say, here I go. See, here's the thing. Now, this is my personal belief. One, during the trial, during the original trial, a lot of folks were upset that he got acquitted. But I remember that time. That was the one time, other than when he played for the Bills, that black folks were behind him. Because truth be told, a lot of black folks wasn't feeling OJ because he made a lot of statements saying, I'm not black, I'm old. I'm not. Remember the whole thing about the Jay-Z, the 444, I'm not black, I'm OJ? But it actually came from an actual statement he made. It always seemed to, the black community that OJ never really wanted to be a part of us, so to speak. So black folks never really, especially like older black folks who were old enough to remember him in his Buffalo Bills days and all that stuff. A lot of black folks really wasn't feeling OJ at that time. However, we cheered for him not because he was OJ. A lot of black folks cheered for him because it was one of the few times we saw on camera, like we got footage of a black man beating the system with the help of Johnny Cochran and the Dream Team. That was the other Dream Team. The Dream Team got the '92 Dream Team in Barcelona. Then we had the legal Dream Team, headed by Johnny Cochran. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. All that, yeah. So that's actually where the Kardashians' father got his fame from. That's where he got his fame from. A lot of people forget about that. And it would with the judge, was it Ito, the judge Ito, all that stuff. Yeah, that was one of the few times black folks saw on camera a black man beating the system, because the black folks were happy not because for OJ, but that a black man beat the system. We were more happy if Johnny Cochran got the praise for that. Now forget OJ. Cochran got that love for that by black folks because he beat the system. Because for many, many years, there have been many instances of whites committing a crime, and everybody knew they committed the crime. The evidence shows that the white person committed the crime, but they still got off. And then black folks always felt like, we never get a fair shake in the legal system. So for this to happen, for a black person, a famous black person, to actually beat the system, we love that. That's why everybody was cheering. It wasn't really for OJ. It was for a black man beating the system. That's what the whole thing was. But back to the interview. That interview, what the frick was OJ doing? What in the world? He was laughing. Like, his laughs were creepy. Like, he had that Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street laugh, like that, like the looks on his face, and like it was very weird. Now I don't know what the reporter thought in her mind as she was asking him the questions, but as I'm watching him talk, and she kept a straight face through the whole interview. Her face, stone face through the whole interview. His facial expressions, his motions. My initial thought was he didn't do it. He hired someone to do it. But after watching this interview, this interview is 12 years old. The interview is 12 years old, so it's old. But it puts a lot of things into perspective. First of all, who was Charlie? So I'm trying to think. I remember the trial. I don't remember anybody named Charlie. I don't remember anybody named Charlie during that time. Because I'm old enough to remember the trial. I saw the trial. I don't remember anybody. I remember the Bronco. I remember the white Bronco, run, OJ, run, all that. I don't remember the name Charlie. Who was Charlie? He kept saying Charlie. I don't know who Charlie was. Anyway. Wow. I am really glad that he didn't release that book. Because that book would have had more details in it than the interview gave. And my God, if I had done it, when I first heard him say something like that, I was like, yo, that got to be the dumbest idea I've ever heard. I didn't kill the person, but if I did, this is how I would have done it. What kind of dumb Who would even think to make? Who can? I always want to know, did OJ come up with that idea, or did one of his friends say, you know what, you should write a book? You know, like I know you didn't do it, but like if you had done it, how would you do it? Who would say something like? I'm done. Anyway, I saw that interview. That interview was nuts, man. That interview just went viral. That interview was 12 years old and it just went viral. And he really can't. He can't go nowhere now. He really can't go nowhere. He better not show his face. OJ, don't go.